Have you? Well, I hate to tell you this, but we are now live on the YouTubes.
Gang, gang.
Yeah. Okay. So, hello, YouTube.
Hi,
We are
YouTube.
here. It is
We are.
episode. It's actually episode going to be about to be anyway, episode 95. Which I don't know why seems significant. Maybe it's because it's a 5.
That's probably what it is. If multiples of 5, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
The only time it's not is 1 9. And we all know which 9 that is.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, those are the significant milestones. But we're almost at the big 1-0.
Yup. Now,
Add an extra 0.
100.
Yeah, 1-0.
Yeah. We're going to have to come up with a funny name for that 100. Actually, you know what? Real quick, before we start the audio recording, before the show starts, I was actually talking to my brother-in-law, Jimmy, who, listens to every show, essentially. And he was telling me that my cousin was listening to the show, and and I was like, well, what's he think? And he was like, well, his only comment is that your YouTube shows don't have, like, it doesn't talk about what you're talking about in the show. Which we don't. So kind of what I wanted to say real quick for people that watch the YouTube show primarily, right? Is that our main show, like what the podcast actually is an audio show.
Right.
The YouTube element, like the cool live stream kind of stuff, is just because we have to video chat anyway. So
yeah, we figured we'd be on both platforms and reach out to more people.
Yeah, so we share this. So honestly, I never even thought about going back and adding a description of like what we put for our audio show,
It's for everyone who has to go to the bathroom.
And I had to go to the bathroom until just then.
Yeah, no.
Now I'm good and warm.
Yeah. Gonna need a towel in about 20 minutes, but I mean, that's 20 minutes from now. That's future Cat Pat.
So I think I'm gonna go back now and add the whatever description we put for the audio show. I'm gonna go back and add it for the video.
Okay.
Maybe help people out with that a little bit, because I guess people in some instances prefer this. So I know that sometimes we ask questions. Let me know, or any of us know, Facebook, or just message us or whatever.
Yeah, feedback.
If you're somebody that I talk to, regularly, just let me know. If you guys prefer the YouTube show, because I mean, we could start putting intro music in and stuff like that for YouTube too, and make it all.
That actually wouldn't be too bad. We might want to look into that, because I don't think it'd be too difficult to do.
I don't think it is. I think that you could just use simple streaming software.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, we're gonna start the audio show now. But I just want to touch on that, let you guys know that everyone's opinion is super important. So we take it into account, and then we share it with you, especially here, because this is a little behind the scenes stuff. So little bit of housekeeping. Also, we killed Jordan. He's dead.
Yeah,
he's dead now.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I'm just
if
kidding.
The police come and ask,
kidding.
You were here with us at the time he died.
Yes, exactly.
You're our alibis.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, YouTube.
We appreciate that. So yeah. Who's gonna intro us this week, Bryce?
Me, because I think it was either you or Jordan last time.
I don't remember.
I'll do it.
Okay, that's fine. And you'll just go ahead and count us in, and
then we'll knock it out.
Yeah, we got some cool stuff to talk about this week. Bryce has some kind of story or something. But yeah, let's fucking
these badasses in history. But let's get it going.
I am recording.
Oh yeah, I might want to push a button.
Yeah.
I am also recording. Let me go ahead and do my number real quick. You said 95?
Yes.
95. All right.
Solid.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 95 of the PB&J podcast. It's
Episode 95. It's a made up landmark for us.
yeah, it's a historical landmark for
Historical.
society.
Mhm.
Purely by made up metrics that if you question me on, I will refer you to the Library of Congress, and good luck finding anything there. So that's
Are
all I'm gonna
you
say
gonna
about
be
that.
like those like the people that get pulled over and they're like, I'm not driving, I'm traveling.
Yeah, I am traveling, and I am not a sovereign of the United States. I do not recognize your laws.
Yeah. And then
Am I
they're
being detained?
have you ever so you've watched some of those videos
Of
then I
course
take
I
it.
have. Of course I have. They're hilarious.
My
When they
favorite
work, it's
part.
like, whoa.
So okay. Before we go, because this is totally we didn't even talk about this. This is just total
That's
rail separation.
normal
Um,
for our shows.
so there's this YouTuber. I think his name is Mike the Cop or something like that, and he's a cop and he does these funny videos about like just like education, But
Yeah.
he's entertaining,
Yeah.
So I guess I watched one or two of those, and then all of a sudden, I started to get in my YouTube feed
Recommended. I am traveling.
recommended sovereign
Yeah.
citizen stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Only one where and I think the only reason that it worked in his favor was he pulled him over for something stupid, and I think the cop was just like,
This isn't worth fucking.
I'm not even.
Like, that's the only thing that those guys have going for them is if the amount of effort the cop is going to have to exude is greater than what they were pulled over for, they'll get out scot-free just because it's just like, I'm not dealing with one of these assholes. Any other time, you're just going to piss off the cop to the point where he's just going to be like, anything I can get you for, I will.
Yeah, but every other one that I watched, it always turns. So okay, this is how it goes. They're like, no, you can't have my stuff. No, and then they hand him a packet of paper. Right.
Yeah.
And apparently the packet of paper points to a very stretched and misconstrued and wrapped thought process behind something that did exist at one time, but had nothing to do with how they're trying to use. And so the cop will tell him, he'll be like, no, you need a driver's license.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, because I'm not driving a car, I'm traveling in my private property.
Yeah. But who is guiding that private property?
Oh, dear God. Anyway, it's always hilarious all the way up to the point where they're like, but I don't understand why you're arresting me.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, that's because when you finally told us your name, it turns out the reason you have no license is because it's been suspended for 8 years.
Yeah.
In almost every case, it turns out that they have like warrants and all that kind of stuff. And that's their way.
That's why they're hiding behind it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work.
It doesn't. And it's fucking hilarious. So my bad. Didn't mean to derail us. But if you guys have not watched those videos, go
out.
fucking watch it.
Because some of them are funny, some of them are actually kind of educational.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it's just some fucking hippie,
trying to get out of trouble,
and he's just like, yeah, I don't recognize this. It's like a spiel. What's funny is they all say the same thing, so they found the spiel from the same web resource.
Yeah,
or something. So it's not even like they like studied these laws and they're just like, oh, this is why, and I'm like lawyer level knowledge of these laws. I went on a Google search, how can I get away with this, and this is what popped up, and the packet of paper I printed up is from that website. Like, that's just how it goes.
Well, dude, the one guy didn't have a license plate, and that's why he got pulled over. And he's like, I don't need a license plate because I don't recognize your law that says I have to have one.
Yep. It's like, dude, it's not how any of this works, unfortunately.
It's not how it works.
Like, if I could just, I'm smoking pot in this fucking Arbys because I don't recognize your prohibition laws, and I don't recognize your no smoking indoors in public places laws.
Yeah, right.
So I'm going to do this coke too. I'm going to the bathroom for it. I'll give you that privacy. Do you have a mirror I can borrow? Like,
also, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and say my only question out of the scenario that you just gave me was why Arby's?
Because roast beef sandwiches. Like,
Never mind.
Yeah,
you're right.
I'm
sorry I questioned you.
They have the Arbys sauce.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get sauced up. Well, I get sauced up. Like, that's just.
That sounds very saucy.
I mean, I'm not doing crack. If I was doing crack, I'd be in the Applebee's bathroom, but I'm not. I'm in Arby's smoking weed, but being a good boy.
So hold on.
Fuck with it.
Arby's. So like you have Applebee's, you have Arby's, right? They're
Right.
Level or is one higher class than the other?
Funnily enough, I consider Arby's to be of higher class than Applebee's.
Okay.
Because
but doesn't Applebee's they have alcohol?
They do, but I mean, so does the fucking corner store in the middle of the ghetto.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, like my whole thing is Arby's at least cooks some of their food, right?
Yeah.
Applebee's literally just reheats everything. It's like every item they have is frozen, prepped already.
I like microwave food.
I mean, I'm fine with microwave food.
Oh, I'm just
when
kidding.
I'm not paying Chili's prices.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was actually about to say that I prefer Chili's.
Oh,
however,
100%.
I don't care that much. I mean, Applebee's is kind of a hunk of shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
like you go there when there's some drinking special and you can deal with the watered down drink.
Yeah, I was actually about to say, but it's not even that great because so you might get 2 drinks, but unless what you picked was a beer bottle, I'm gonna go ahead and bet you that that's a pretty limited.
Or unless you tip really well to the waitress or to the bartender.
Yeah.
Because when I've gone, it was one of those things where I sat the bartender down. I would put like when I knew I was going to be fucking drinking, I would put down like $10 up front. I'm like, here's this. There's more to come. I don't like watered down drinks, so if we can make that happen, that'd be great. And every time I've done that, my drinks were on point. And it's one of those things where it feels dickish, but you're saying I'm bribing you to give me actual drinks.
Well,
and most of the time they're pretty cool about it.
So hold on. So my cousin, he came down or over from Texas a couple years ago, and I remember when we would go to the bar, and he would take $100 bill and just put it down for the bartender right away. And be like, this is for you, Nice. And I'm like, damn. But, thinking back on it, it was probably to ensure the drinks we got were
legit. Yeah. No. It's 100% a strategy. And if you're going to be drinking to where you're like $100 tip right off the bat, and you're going to be asking for some fucking drinks and you have like a group going, right?
Yeah.
So shit like that, it makes sense to me. To bribe a little bit because most places have some sort of policy of you must do this for these drinks or whatever. You must measure it perfectly and don't put too much alcohol because we want them to buy like 10 drinks instead of 5.
Yeah, exactly. They want the $12 drink, to be the alcohol content of the $3 drink.
Exactly, which is just, bruh. That's why I've always, whenever I have a place that does like 2 for $1, I always get Long Island's. Because it's hard to skimp on alcohol in a Long Island because there's like 5 different ones in that drink.
It turns out that they're just putting a little bit of vodka into actual iced tea.
Right. They're just like, gotcha, bitch.
Here you go.
Because my whole thing is you can tell you have a good Long Island when the Coke that's added is literally just for the color.
Yeah.
Like... If you can tell that it's a splash of Coke to where the color isn't even uniform because some parts of it are clearer than others, you've got a good Long Island. You be friends with that bartender because they just hooked you the fuck up.
So talking about, and it's funny because I'm gonna try to get us into a subject here real quick.
I mean, technically we are
planned,
subjects, but yeah.
No, I have a list, motherfucker.
We're
going through the fucking list.
We're gonna hit this list.
I took fucking time to write the list.
List item A. We're starting at A. Don't ask me about C. You'll find out when we get there. Fuck you.
Fuck you. Oh,
all right,
God.
what's on the agenda? What's top of the agenda, Patrick? Come on. Organize us.
Oh,
Make
shit.
this train
Well,
not
no. Actually, it goes with what we're talking about, really. It's the idea of going out to the bar, right? And sometimes, let's say that 100 that you put down when you get there, sometimes that's a status thing too.
Yeah, it's a big
right?
dick move for sure. It's
Now,
like, hey, I've got money. Bam.
what I want to talk about is a status item that I'm not quite sure why it's a status item.
Okay.
Okay. And that is Apple AirPods.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So apparently, if you don't got AirPods, you're broke.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the occurring joke. Even Beats are below AirPods in people's eyes as far as status.
Yeah,
Which,
yeah.
I mean, Beats have always been low tier for me.
Well, they're low tier. Like, these are Beats, right?
Yeah.
But I got a fat deal on them. Absolutely never go pay full price for a pair of Beats.
Oh yeah, no, don't, because the sound quality you can get with the cheaper pair of headphones. Like, a big part of Beats is that B on the side.
I will say, though, that they're super, super comfortable, like ridiculously comfortable. But the noise cancellation, the built-in noise cancellation is kind of crap.
It doesn't. I hate that they call it that, because the noise cancellation is basically what this is, which is they're counting on the padding to do most of the. They don't have.
Well, there's a button.
Yeah, the white noise. They have.
So, like, if I turn it off, I can hear a bunch of stuff around me. Right. But it's not like it's. I forget
it's not isolated.
I put on a pair of Sony's once.
Yup.
And it made my ears like.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Where you're looking around and like the person right in front of you is talking and you're just like, oh my God.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
You feel like you can hear your own heartbeat with some of them, which is
that'll be my next
cool.
Something like some Sony's will be my next like studio headphones that I get.
Okay.
But anyway, so every fucking person has these AirPods. Now, I just kind of want to break it down first, right? And then I want your opinion, right?
Okay.
As to why and how you think this happened. So, AirPods, first off, let's look at them. They have a cool little case. Looks like Tic Tac bottle.
Yep,
right?
for the charging case. Mm-hmm.
For the charging case. Now, to my knowledge, the battery life on them even is not very good individually. Just from watching people people I'm around all day have to constantly pop them out and like just switch to only have one in, right? Like that kind of stuff to keep them charged. Right. And the sound quality on them, they're not great. They're just little ear pods. They're not good. I listened to them and I was like, oh, they're just like regular earbuds.
Yeah, right? It's pretty not.
And they kind of look silly, in my opinion. I will say that I think the same thing about the Samsung ones that are now out, right?
Yeah.
I like them better because they're like little, they don't have a piece that sticks down. I guess that's preference, but and Apple earphones in general, including EarPods, hurt my fucking ears, man.
The fit is something that I feel like could be worked on for comfort, and I'm hoping, because they're actually coming out with the second generation of AirPods, and there's a couple things that they're fixing about it, which I'm excited about for reasons. How
has it become this icon of look at me, Mom, I made it?
One, it's an Apple product. So Apple items automatically are status just from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Two, it has a very minimalistic design, which a lot of people like. Like, they're not bulky. They're very easy to travel with, and it's one of those things where you just, and some people won't even notice that you have it in. You know, like with like tones or something similar. You have the thing around your neck. It's one of those things where you can just pop it in and you're Gucci. You know. My thing is, it's also people just love the I'm trying to think of the right term. It's not aesthetic, but essentially they love the idea of having that little Tic Tac case, and then just because people hate tangled wires.
Oh yeah,
it's a meme.
Oh yeah.
And that's another thing, is the meme culture around it is a big reason why it exploded. because there's always that one joke where Android users on vacation, and it's supposed to be like a picture taken from an Android phone, but it'll be like GTA 3 as the picture. So it'll be like the difference between iPhone and Android cameras is one is an actual camera, the other one's like a video game made in 2003, like that, though, that kind of quality.
Yeah.
With AirPods, it's a similar concept where, hey, this is what I got. I'm bougie.
Okay, so but I wouldn't have a problem with that, except for they're for what they cost, right? What? How much to repair AirPods? $300?
No, they're not 300. They're
like 150 then.
I think they're 129. Let me check. 159.
Okay,
Yeah.
so $150, right? $160.
Yeah.
Now for $160,
you can get some good shit.
I'm willing to bet you can get some really good headphones. You can even probably get some really good earbuds. They'd probably be wired, or you can probably get some really nice wireless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the same price. So AirPods themselves were cool because they're the first one to have the little case and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But it's been around already. So is it
the technology's been
literally
around.
just the fucking Apple logo being on it?
That's a huge part of it, because a lot of the memes associated with Apple are, I got money now. And if you don't have this Apple branded this, you are trash. And meme culture, I feel like, is a huge part of consumerism now, just because the generation that exists now that's buying this shit is just born in meme culture. Like, memes have been around for them since they've been little ones. So it's one of those things where
it's normal. Like,
if you see a billion memes saying you got money if you got these, and you want to show off you got money, you get them. Like, advertising does nothing in comparison to what memes do for your product, either good or bad.
Yeah.
Because AirPods, I legit think 99% of their allure came from people posting on Facebook different things of, I checked this shit out. I got these. I'm bougie.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I guess I see that, because that's where the oh, sorry, I don't speak broke comes
exactly.
in.
I don't speak broke and shit like that. Yeah.
But that's the part that blows my mind. Now we're talking about fucking headphones. So not even the iPhone itself causes that same reaction.
Not anymore. Not nearly as much anymore, except when Apple comes out with like a limited edition version, like the rose gold or the red AIDS Foundation iPhone 7 that they released years ago. Like, there were memes around those because those were highly sought after limited edition things where there was a back order for months.
Yes.
But
that happens with a lot of different products, right?
It does. It does to a degree, but the thing is that the cultural image was already existing before it. So people immediately fall into, it's Apple and it's limited, or it's Apple and it's, this really cool thing. So because they already have that preconceived image for the company, they're way more likely to get those kinds of, that kind of content created for them than other companies that are less known names, because people recognize brands more than anything else. Like, people, there was an experiment done with brand recognition,
and they use just logos or whatever.
And fucking the amount of knowledge people has about brands and their logos and what they associate them with, in comparison to just like reviews, even
or hold on, in comparison to knowing like history in the country you live in.
That too, like knowing, I don't know who the 25th president was, but I know who the CEO of Apple is.
There you go.
Like, people know who the last 3 CEOs were, like of different brands and different companies. Like, I know all about the CEO of Nintendo America, how his last name's Bowser for the new because the CEO of Nintendo America, Reggie, he's officially retired, and the guy who's taking up his place, I can't remember his first name, but I can remember his last name's Bowser. And in his first address to everyone, where he was saying to everyone, "I'm really excited about this," in the background he had Mario and Luigi tied up on the shelf, not in like a spotlight position or anything like that, but
that's awesome. Like he
shit like
played the
that.
part. I mean,
Yeah, he because there's a billion memes all about how Bowser is taking over Nintendo. So it's one of those things where when you already have free generation of your brand, where people are sharing Nintendo shit just because you exist, you play into that because it's a good business move, because it keeps people talking about it, which is free advertisement. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a company here that either already exists or will exist soon, of people who create templates for memes specifically about your company or against a competitor, where you can pay them and be like, "Hey, I want you to create content talking shit about these guys.
make it funny.
Make it funny, make it viral." And then they just spit out a bunch of memes on Reddit, spit out a bunch of memes on 9gag, spit out a bunch of memes on 4chan, see if it sticks. And if it does and it makes it to Facebook, Facebook is one of the most viewed fucking resources ever. So if you're getting shared on Facebook,
everybody's seen it now. Grandma's seen it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
People even have like meme calendars for the year, and it keeps track of what meme was popular in that month of that year. Like, what was the main one?
Yeah.
Like Salt Bay of January of last year. Or that might have been the year before. I can't remember. Well, time is a weird thing. But like that kind of shit.
So hold on. So you then think 100% then the reason that AirPods are this retarded symbol of look at me, I'm bougie, I got money, whatever, is purely because of memes. That's what you're telling me.
I'm saying it's 95% memes, 4% Apple, and 1% of like the cost. When something is expensive, it automatically is bougie.
All right. Okay.
Real quick, 2 seconds. I just want to say I'm thankful that AirPods 2 that are coming out is going to have the serial numbers on the AirPods, because people have a real hard time when they lose their case for the AirPods of the current generation. If they lose that case had the serial number. If you want to get a new case, it's hard. And or if you're you know, it's
because you have to like pair them with it or something.
Well, it's one of those things where the AirPods can pair with different cases. That's fine. But when you're submitting for like, let's say you got like some sort of plan for your case to cover the accessories, you need that serial number to be able to get your device. So it's one of those things.
So it's like the IMEI number on a phone.
Exactly. Okay. That's exactly what it's like.
Okay.
So it's one of those things where a lot of people struggle with that. And I'm just glad that Apple heard them and actually adjusted that. Because another thing is if you lose a single AirPod, you can get that replaced, and it'll pair with the other AirPod just fine. But again, having that serial number is key. And a lot of people, when they go for those plans, they don't realize that, and they don't write it down somewhere. So it's been a big like customer service hiccup for Apple, where they get torn apart online. I've seen a lot of postings online about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody save your fucking serial numbers. Jeez.
Yeah.
And also stop forgetting passwords to accounts. Jesus.
Stop forgetting passwords to any account ever. And for God's sake, don't tell anyone your password either.
No, don't do that either. Don't make it the same thing, you fuckers.
I can't use the same password as before. No.
Oh man. Hey, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. And when we come back, I have a funny thing that I want to talk about. And Bryce has some awesome shit he's going to talk about.
Badass in history.
Whoop whoop. All right, we'll be right back.
Bye.
Hello, break.
Recording is paused.
Yeah.
Everybody get up. Or don't. I don't care.
Or don't. I don't care. Hello.
I'm pretty laid back when it comes to that shit, so don't get up.
Yeah, he is pretty laid back when it comes to that shit.
Yeah. If you can't see what I'm trying to say, I don't remember how the rest of that song goes, so I'm just gonna stop right there.
Yeah, bro.
And you guys can just deal with it.
All right.
Maybe I'm going deaf. Maybe I'm going blind. Maybe I'm out of my. I didn't stop. I kept going. I lied to you. I promised.
You did lie.
I promised myself I would never do that. Well, there's only one way out now.
Where's your sword?
Yeah. Time to get old Faithful out from the closet.
Oh, man. I knew that's where you were going. Where's my revolver?
Revolver.
Where's my revolver? I'm hungry.
This gun is the best gun ever. The single action Colt 45. It's not even a 45, I don't think. I think it's 32 or 38. I don't
know. Okay. Hold on. I'll be ready to go.
You're 22. Not 32.
I was actually sent a texty messagey. Just out of curiosity. So we're going to wait like 5 minutes and then.
Curiosity.
Everybody save your cat.
Excuse me, what?
Because curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah, but satisfaction brought it back.
Ooh.
Blah, blah. There's actually a lot of those types of sayings that have more to them that make them mean the opposite.
Oh yeah? Let's go over one.
So you know how blood is thicker than water?
Oh my god, yeah, I heard this one.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Hold on. Blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Which basically means you and your homies are more important. Like the family connections you create, rather than actually being related, are stronger than actual familial ties.
Yes.
And I love
friendship in truth can be greater than family. Yes. I figured Michael would have stopped by now.
He's probably mad at us.
He might be.
Listen,
guys, we suck, and it just is what it is. I don't know what to tell you.
Yes. I'm trying to think of some other ones. Let me see if I can find any, because I know that there are more. There's like 7 or 8 that I love to look at. Give me one sec. Oh yeah, great minds think alike, though fools seldom differ. Basically meaning great minds think alike, but idiots very rarely don't think alike. So
we could just be idiots.
You could just be idiots. Exactly. And then jack of all trades, master of none, though oftentimes better than the master of one. Is another one where a bunch of people say jack of all trades, master of none. You're getting too general. You're not going to master any of those, but oftentimes it's better than the master of one. It basically means, hey, being a jack of all trades is usually more useful than just mastering the fuck out of one thing. Which, I mean, let's be real. I could be very skilled in construction. If I don't know anything about computers, I'm fucked. If I have general knowledge in both, I can be my own handyman and my own technician.
Yep, that's true. What about carpe diem?
Seize the day?
Plunge carpe diem into Instagram search engine, and you'll be bombarded with pictures of people seizing the opportunity to make the most of their day. The translation of this saying is only somewhat accurate, as the phrase continues to carpe diem, some words I can't say, which means pluck the day, trusting as little as possible in the future.
Ah. So basically, you might die tomorrow. So do everything today. Which, I mean, it kind of seize the day is supposed to be more of a, get going for today so you can improve for the future. Whereas what it's actually saying is like, yeah, go ahead and do that crack. I mean, tomorrow you might not be alive, so fuck it. My country, right or wrong, if right to be kept right, and if wrong to be set right, is another one. But most people say my country, right or wrong. Like, I stand with my country, right or wrong. But really, the true saying is, hey, my country, right or wrong. If it's right, we keep it right. If it's wrong, we fucking fix it. So, like, I love that full one is the polar opposite of what it's supposed to be. Because a lot of people who are more like the militant Facebook keyboard warriors are like, I stand with this country, right or wrong.
Right or wrong, this is America.
Yeah, like, this is the most beautiful country.
This goddamn don't run.
Oh, yeah, these colors don't run, boy. Like, fucking the stupidest shit. Mm-hmm. Because the whole point of America is to fucking
hold on,
knock the shit out of your government if you need to.
Yeah, I've been planning though to put a American flag kind of up in the front because I don't have one and I kind of want one, but I really want to put little fans underneath it. So it, like, even when it's not windy, it's still flying.
That'd be cool.
I think it'd be funny.
That'd be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be something where you wouldn't have to like run the fans all the time, but you
could.
Well,
they'll have like wind sensors.
Oh, okay.
When the little thing stops spinning,
then it knows to turn the fan on. Okay.
Look at that.
I like that. I like that.
I'm looking through these other ones, but they're stupid.
The other sayings?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like those are just a couple of the more.
It's kind of like the devil's in the details or whatever. Originally was God's in the details, but I mean that's not different. I really guess
to a certain degree, yeah.
Children should be seen, not heard was originally a maid. Should be seen, but not heard.
Which I can agree with slightly more, especially for the time that saying came out with, because I'm sorry, if I'm paying you to clean my house and I'm having
I don't want to hear you talk.
I don't mind talking to them. I just don't want to hear your fucking political ideas. Like, if I'm discussing something with someone over the phone, don't come at me with, well, actually. Fuck your well, actually. Clean my bathroom.
Actually, wait. I'm going to take a quick deuce, and then I want you to clean my bathroom.
Yeah.
And then the other one is 1-1. The other 1-1-1. Money is the root of all evil.
It's the love of money is the root of all evil. I forgot about that one. Yeah. Which does have a different meaning.
Yeah.
A very different meaning.
It does. It means that money isn't the problem. It's loving the greed. Yeah.
It's the love of money that gets you fucked up.
Although I do love money, so.
Well, you're the root of all evil. Hello, Antichrist.
Damn it.
Turn that P upside down. What does it form? Upside down P, which stands for the Pantichrist. Patrick.
The Pantichrist. I actually go around stealing people's pants.
Dun 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 dun.
It's so bad. You get up in the morning and you can't find your pants. They're not even in the dryer.
I'm basically Jesus in this scenario because I don't wear pants.
Yeah.
I'm immune. I'm immune to your influence, you pants stealer.
And then
what are you going to take from me? Nothing.
Yeah, you come out to lead people to the salvation of being okay with no pants.
Yeah. I'm just like, brothers and sisters, understand. Without pants, there's no expectations. What a life to live!
That's funny.
It's kind of like when I eat waffles in the morning. If I eat really good waffles in the morning, my expectations for the day are just done. I am going back home and I'm taking a syrupy nap.
Yeah, well, you can't beat so. I try not to do anything too fucking awesome too early in the morning.
Because the rest of the day could be shit in comparison.
Yeah, well, it's fucking downhill from there, man.
Yeah, it's just like, man, I had a great breakfast. fuck, even if today's normal, I'm just gonna be like, this isn't as good as that breakfast.
Yeah, it's kind of like I try to keep lunch mediocre.
Yeah.
You know?
Train yourself Pavlovian style where good meals come from fucking home.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, or I'll stop and get something real good on my way home, whatever.
Yeah.
But you try, but you can't. Like, I mean, if you're gonna set a world record, do it around 5 or 6 o'clock. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
If you're gonna blow the best O's with your vape you've ever done,
Yeah.
don't do it in the morning.
No, because you do it in the morning, you're gonna be like, ah, man, that was really good, and you're gonna ride that high all the way until about 9:30.
Yep.
And then you're gonna be like, today's just normal again. Where you could have like had that peak then, and then rode it with, because your happiness level to like degradation meter, right?
Yeah. We should graph this.
We should graph this.
We should graph
because
this.
work time, even if you love your job, is much harder on your happiness level than not work time, than free time.
Yeah,
free
okay.
time it declines much slower, so you can
And
enjoy
then,
it.
depending on what you're doing on your day off, you
Mhm.
can peak early. That's fine.
Yeah.
But you can't do anything to accelerate the degradation of the
Exactly.
happiness.
You ride that happiness all the way to the end of the day and go to
Yeah.
sleep. Like that's how that goes. On days off, you can do awesome things early. Just make sure you're not going to be like, oh, but I'm going to mow the lawn later.
And I know that there's these people that get up and they're like, well, carpe diem, right? And they're like, this is going to be, you know, and they don't be that guy.
No.
Don't be that guy, because what happens if you have a shit day? Now you just let yourself down.
Yeah. Having expectations is the ultimate depressant.
Yep.
So follow me, my brothers and sisters. No pants, no expectations.
Oh God, you don't have pants on right now, do you?
I'm not going to lower the camera to confirm or to die. I plead the fifth.
Confirm or to die.
Die.
Oh shit! All right,
I
well,
will
we
say
should
it's
come
rather
back.
breezy in my room.
Okay, who's breezy?
Actually, I am in some circles. Yo, what up, breezy?
Oh, really?
Yes.
We're gonna talk about this one day.
Are we? Okay.
You know, not today,
Mm.
not tomorrow.
Okay.
Most because we don't have a show tomorrow, but one day. Yeah. All right. I'm ready to come back.
Let's knock it out. Let's don't call it a comeback because we never left the motherfucking stage.
Boom. All right. So I'm gonna start recording, and then you're gonna count us downsies. Bring us back, and then we'll go from there.
Test. Okay. Audio still working.
Yay! Things are working still.
Are we ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1,
go.
Hey everybody, welcome back from the break where we actually talked about some stuff during the break. So if you want to hear that and you're in the audio only version, check out our YouTube and you'll be able to see our break segment. And we had a couple discussions about different things like sayings that have opposite meanings when you complete the saying rather than just do the shortened part that people use nowadays.
And I think that's around the 20-minute-ish mark, something like that.
Yeah, somewhere around there. So check it out, or just watch the whole thing because we're very pretty.
I mean, I can't help it. I have to wear a hat to prevent from breaking the camera because I'm so beautiful.
It's true. He has to mask his beauty. So we're coming back in. This is a very powerful show, and you had something else you wanted to talk about real quick. A little bit of funny something. A little
Well, okay. So it started as I wanted us to do this, and then when I tried to do it, I was taken off guard. And that is have you seen this Florida Man challenge?
Yes.
Okay.
I actually was going to create a essentially a astrology Florida Man edition for this challenge, where if you were born from this date range to this date range, this is your Florida Man story, and this is what your life energy is.
Well, I will say that
Mine was depressing.
Okay, well, hold on. Mine was I'm gonna have to try to do it again because when I did a quick search for it, all I seen was media stories about doing the Florida Man Challenge.
Well, yeah, that is a problem with the Florida Man Challenge right now. Is you have to go to like page 2 or 3 to get past all the media stories being like, try the Florida Man Challenge.
Yeah, so no, but that's what I want to talk about, and that's what I found so fucking hilarious. So here's this thing that everyone and we all know Florida Man. We know the Florida jokes. We're here. Fuck, me and Bryce are pretty much Florida guys, right? Like we do crazy stuff.
We are Florida men.
I'm a
We
man.
just haven't been caught yet for the headline. So
Yeah.
if you're a cop, you have to tell me, okay, listeners. Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't recognize your I don't recognize your laws anyways. So
yeah, I don't recognize your law. That would be the Florida Man story for us. Is like
Yeah.
we get pulled over with like 10 pounds of crack and some alligators in the back seat to protect the crack. And then we say, we are traveling, therefore we're not driving with an illicit substance. Also, we don't recognize your laws for crack. So,
yeah.
I'm a
or
sovereign.
having pet attack alligator.
Yeah. Like, I mean, what's wrong with having an attack alligator?
So
you can have an attack dog.
So first of all, and before, because I want you to try to find mine, and I want to hear yours too. Okay.
Okay.
But March 5th, by the way.
March 5th. All right, I'll start researching.
So anyway, I'm like, oh, that's crazy. I can't believe that's there's so many Florida Man stories that essentially that works, right? So then I go to do it, and I was blown away, man, blown away by how quickly the news in general, especially online, how quickly they just turn into like tabloid sites, and and they're like, try the Florida Man Challenge. I'm like, oh, this is bad.
We've become a commodity.
Yeah, great. So,
and I'm not even getting paid for it.
It's
just unfortunate.
But it's so bad that Florida is now went from haha Florida Man to people in other states are seeing, what if I was a Florida Man? Like that's essentially what this is, right?
Essentially, yeah.
So, did you find anything for me?
I did, and it's actually one that was very recent, and I don't know if we ended up talking about it, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read yours, and then I'll read mine.
Okay.
Patrick's Florida Man Challenge results. Florida Man tries to fly home with an RPG checked in his bag. Rocket-propelled grenade.
Yep.
Where essentially this guy bought a replica that can't fire, but it is an RPG, and it's very easy to modify and things like that. But it was a realistic replica, and essentially, yeah, he tried to put it in the checked-in bag, and he was like, "Well, it's not in the list of items I can't bring on a plane."
I mean, hold on, he's not wrong.
I just love that he fucking tried this shit because the launcher was a working launcher. It was just the grenade that was a replica.
Oh God, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not okay. Hold on. Wait a minute. RPG is not on the list?
No. He was like, fucking
under
personal
weapons.
items such
you can't have weapons.
Well, technically
it's not.
He was saying it's a replica, but the fucking RPG can fire. Like an RPG is essentially a tube that hits a firing pin on a grenade that launches it, right?
Well, yeah.
So that part is you can even make one. I don't think
potato gun.
Exactly. It's a complicated potato gun. But he was like, well, the grenade's a replica, and it doesn't say I can't bring replicas on. And they're just like, fuck you. So they confiscated it. So that's
fuck you.
That's your Florida Man challenge result.
Okay.
For mine.
Now, hold on, I'm curious. What page did you have to go to even find that?
Oh, fucking the Dead Zone, page 4.
Damn.
That's 3 page news websites being like, have you heard of the Florida Man challenge?
That's crazy, right?
It's insane because if it's not on the first page of Google, it doesn't exist. Those are the rules. And now I think that nothing happened on my birthday. I had to go digging for mine. And mine was page 3, which is also the dead zone.
Yeah.
But mine was Florida man's death was blamed on alligators at first, but his mom's determination led to the truth, which sounds like, oh, that could be funny, maybe.
Yeah.
No, he was murdered.
Oh.
And it's just depressing. And I'm like, this isn't a fun Florida man challenge at all. This is just a reality that, like,
some guy was murdered, and then they threw his fucking body in there to get eaten by alligators.
So they could be like, the gators did it.
They should have used pigs.
They should have used pigs. If they had seen, which one was that? That's not Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. That is,
I don't know where that is from.
Fuck, I can't remember the movie. It's a similar movie to Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, if y'all have seen that. And it's about a lot of different things, but it's a fucking really good dark comedy. I recommend it. If you've ever heard someone ask you if you like Dags, know that that's where the movie comes. That's where that comes from. Is that movie? And I feel like it's a one-word movie, like for the title, but I can't remember. I'll find it later and I'll say it randomly. But yeah, those are our Florida Man challenges, and it is really funny when the media gets a hold of something where you specifically have to Google it to get the results of it, because it ruins everything. What I am excited about is this just means that pretty soon someone is going to they're going to see this problem, and they're going to gather Florida Man stories for every day, and they're going to create the Florida Man like archive. And my Germany or Florida is a lot easier.
Google Florida Man archive.
You want to see if it already exists? All right.
I do.
Florida Man archives. Things Floridians like. Hold up. Is this?
Does it exist?
It's not by date for the Florida Man challenge, but it is an archive of a bunch of Florida Man stories. How many pages? It's 5 pages as of now.
That's pretty. That's a good bit.
I'm really hopeful that someone creates one that's sorted by date, and I might look into trying to do that just for fun in my off time. It's just gathering a bunch of Florida Man stories from Reddit and shit, and like sorting it by date. The only thing that sucks is I'd have to fact check them to make sure they're real Florida Man stories. And then I'll get depressed because some of the funny ones aren't real. And I'll be like, man, why does my like fucking integrity as a journalist, even though I'm not a journalist, hold me back from having fun? Come on, man. It's the year of fake news. Let me do it. Let me put the fake ones in. They're hilarious.
Dude, it's funny.
It's funny.
Oh, man. So, Bryce, you had something that you put in the chat, right? That you talked about pretty excitedly.
Badasses in history.
I would like to hear some of that.
I'm going to start off by saying that this guy is the inspiration for a manga character.
Wait, in the camera, it looked like you just looked directly into your cat's butthole.
I mean, you got to check it for grossness. Am I right? Got to make sure she's healthy. Actually, I reached over to get my drink. I'm not checking out my cat's ass. Thank you. It's my daughter. That's disgusting. Fuck you guys. Anyways, so the guy I'm going to talk about today, because I went on another Wikipedia hole. Because I've been doing Wikipedia races recently while I'm at work, just to give myself something to do. Because a lot of my job is just talking people through things.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where once I have those memorized, I can do other things while I do that. So a Wikipedia race, for those of you who don't know, is where you start off on one page and you can't do any searches. And there are some other rules you can add to it. But basically, you start off on one page and you have to get to another page just by clicking related items like anything highlighted blue on the Wikipedia article. So, for instance, I started off on for an emperor of China. I can't remember which one right now because I didn't actually read his page because it was the starting one.
Okay.
And I got to Game Grumps, which is a YouTube channel. So to go from the Emperor of China, from like one of the dynasties, to Game Grumps, it took me 12 clicks, 12 URL clicks. And It's that kind of thing. And in one of those holes, I ended up on the page of the man who was the inspiration for the anime Berserk. There's a character named Guts.
Okay.
And if you Google Guts Berserk, you'll see some of the most fucking raddest shit ever. But my whole point is this man is real and he is badass incarnate. His name is Guts von Berlichingen. But he was also known as Guts of the Iron Hand. And it's not because he ruled with an iron fist. It's because he had a prosthetic hand made of fucking iron after his hand got blown off by a goddamn cannon. Yeah.
Hold on. I'm curious. Was his hand blown off due to his own ignorance?
No.
Or was he like fighting, got his hand blown off by a cannon
and kept fighting?
And
actually, in some of the accounts that I found, I haven't been able to like vet which one's real. Generally speaking, the cause of it is cannon. That's what everyone says. But some people say that he actually was in the process of deflecting the cannonball. Like he went to like guard against it, and the ricochet from it caused him to slice his own arm off. But he survived the cannon.
So he was actually blocking.
That's what some of the sources that I found said. But again, that might be more in the terms of like myth and legend as opposed to what actually happened. The only thing I could find that's concrete is that the cannonball was the cause, whether it was from ricochet off his sword or from him getting hit by a cannonball. That's the part that's in contention that I can find. Both of them are equally badass.
Okay.
So he was a German man, an imperial knight, a mercenary. He was a sellsword, and a poet. And from his poetry, became the first iteration of "He Can Lick My Ass."
Excuse me?
So you know the phrase "kiss my ass" or
yeah.
It comes from this man and his poetry.
In what context?
I'd have to find the poem. Kann mich im Arsch lecken.
Ass licking, that's what I heard.
Hold on.
All right. Let's play some music.
It's the Swabian Salute, and it was part of a humorous, not limerick, but like a humorous poem. And it's literally him telling someone to lick his ass, or kiss his ass, as part of this like kind of jaunty, funny poem that's supposed to be like salute based, which is just fucking hilarious that this guy's quoted for it. And actually, after his arm was blown off, he had it replaced with an iron prosthetic. He had several. He had 2 or 3, and essentially, the second prosthetic that was more famous was capable of holding objects. So he could hold a shield with it. He could hold reins with it, and he also held his quill in it when he wrote his poems.
So he wrote with the fucking iron hand?
With the iron hand, which is fucking ridiculous. And this dude also had a bunch of beef with people.
Okay.
So like, he hated this fucking town, Nuremberg, right? He just fucking hated it. He was at feud with the leaders there. So he would just go on random raids where he raided a bunch of their merchants that were coming back from a fair, and just took a bunch of shit. So the emperor at the time, Maximilian, he put Berlichingen under an imperial ban.
Okay.
Which is basically house arrest.
Yeah.
And he was under house arrest for 2 years where he wrote a bunch of poems. He then paid 14,000 gulden to end it. So that was that feud. He got in a feud with
Wait. You're raping and pillaging too much. House arrest.
Yeah.
So then when you're in your house arrest, you're like, you know what?
I'm going to write a bunch of poems.
I'm bored with writing poetry now. I'm just going to pay to be out of house arrest now so I can go pillage some more. What the
kind of? It's just one of those things where they had different stuff. And he was just like, fine, I'll fucking pay the fine.
I'll accept
Because this was also when churches were pay to play, where if you paid a certain tithe, you would be absolved of your sins.
Yeah.
So that concept transferred over into the government as well. So he literally paid his due. So then he got into some beef with the Principality of Mainz and its Prince Archbishop. So he mounted a raid into Hesse, which is that general area, and he captured Philip IV, which is a count of the area. And he made 8,400 gulden, which was the currency, in ransom money. And when they found out that he had done some shit again, they put him back on imperial ban. So he signed up and did some more fucking poetry for a year. But during that time, he signed up for the service of a Duke of Württemberg, which was at war with the Swabian League, which is where the Swabian salute came from, because he was talking shit about this league, basically how to salute them. And he fought a fuck ton of stuff. The only time I think I can find that he was forced to surrender was he was fighting in a town of Makmul. And he just didn't have, he literally had no supplies at all. Like they had run out of every bullet and every food item. And it was just fucking ridiculous. So he made some terms of surrender, but they violated his terms of surrender, and they basically took him prisoner and handed him to the citizens of a town that he had raided so many times. And so he was there for about 2 or 3 years getting like shit thrown at him and stuff. But then some knights came and they're like, you should let him go. And they're like, he's got to pay money. And they're like, all right, fine. So he had to pay another 2,000 for that. And he had to promise not to take vengeance on the people who took him prisoner. Because they were just like, all right, we're letting you go.
Shady agreement.
Yeah, we're going to let you go, but you have to promise you're not going to come at us, because
they can't fucking come back.
They can't handle him. So he basically was just this big badass with an iron hand who just fucking pillaged his way through history. And whenever he was put under house arrest, he paid his way out because he had so much fucking money that he could afford these things that were essentially life sentences unless you paid.
Yeah. So it's like he's so bored because he's so rich that he's
just like, I want to go back out and kill. Like, I'll
bro,
make
that translates to now. Look at the fucking weird shit rich people do now, man.
I mean, that's true. That's true. I absolutely love everything about this guy. Just reading all this shit, because his actual battles, like the stories of his battles, talk about all kinds of crazy shit he did. Like the deflecting the cannonball thing that I read was one of many just ridiculous stories of this guy, like taking on like entire groups of people by himself and just like laughing as he murdered them all. Like he's just a fucking badass.
That's cool.
And basically when it was all said and done, he made an agreement to just chill when he was ready to retire. He was just like, all right, governments, just letting you know, I'm done.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, fuck, finally.
See, and that's crazy to me, too, where he's just like, you know what? I think I'm going to retire. I'm getting old. You know?
Yeah, I've got some daughters now.
Yeah, I'm just
want to carry on the name.
Yeah. Appreciate it, though, you know?
Yeah.
Can I have those horses? I mean, I'm actually taking the horses.
Yeah, but this is my last act, so don't start a feud with me. I might not be able to retire yet. And they're like, whatever, man, take it all.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna take this farm.
Yeah. This is mine now.
This is mine now. This was the last thing though. Nothing after this.
Big promise. Big promise. I love finding shit like that, because this dude was just insane.
No, that's pretty cool, man. Like,
the fact that he had a working prosthetic that could hold things back then was a huge.
And when is this? What?
The 1500s.
Oh yeah, man.
Like
that's crazy.
His reign of like terror was like from 1512 to like 1540.
Jesus.
Just fucking 28 years of him just being like, I think I'm gonna go kill some people and make money.
That's pretty good too, because people in that line of business, I'm sure, didn't even live to be 28, let
Well,
alone
and that's
fucking.
let alone be 28 years of pure combat.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah,
other
yeah.
thing is it wasn't like he was like a tactical leader where he stayed behind in a tent the whole time. He was on the front lines all
Oh
28
yeah,
years,
he was on
just fucking shit up. He
deflecting
led from the
fucking
front.
cannonballs and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just like, fuck it, I lost an arm. I got another one. Let's go.
You know what? For all we know, he didn't wear pants.
For all we know, he didn't wear pants. Just saying.
Just fucking saying.
Liberate yourselves. Free.
Yeah.
Wake up, sheeple.
Wake up.
Pants are a prison. They both start with P. It makes sense.
Well, I don't have anything else, and I think that before we ruin it, I think we nailed it.
I think we nailed it too. I think we nailed it.
Nailed it. Jordan. Oh,
I'll be proto Jordan.
all right.
Hey guys. So if you need us, you can find us at PB podcast, on Google, on iPhone, iOS, and or Apple, and you can also find us on Facebook, PBnJ podcast. That's also our email, and of course, you can find all the high quality episodes on pbnjpodcast.podbean.com. And you know we'll be happy to have you. I'm Jordan. I'm gonna edit this episode, and that's when I relinquish the title of Jordan and give it back. So he promised he was going to edit the episode.
You heard it, right? Everybody heard Jordan.
Everyone heard Jordan say he was editing this episode. So we're gonna send that over. Thank him for a job well done.
Yes, sir.
Nailed it. Nailed it. And recorded.
That was hilarious. Good job.
Thank you. That was fun for me.
I was hoping you were gonna do a little voice with it, and you did.
Hey guys, that's cray cray in a good way.
Yeah. What are we calling this? Hunk of masterpiece.
That's a good question. We talked about all kinds of things. Iron Hand, Florida Man, and then the first thing, AirPods. Florida Man of the Iron AirPods. Just have all three.
I think that might be the greatest thing that you've ever said. Like, actually ever. Oh my god.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me type that in here real quick. Florida Man
of the Iron
AirPods.
That's a title that makes people go, what?
That's a title that makes people go.
I want to see what this is about. It has AirPods in it, and I'm bougie. Yeah. Iron AirPods sounds super bougie.
I'm gonna start putting hashtag AirPods in every fucking video, and right.
Hashtag, just see what happens.
Hashtag just to see what happens. Yeah.
I should get a pair of AirPods or faux pods, which are fake AirPods. And
well,
then, as a reveal in the middle of the episode, just be like, Bong! And they're under my.
I've seen the ones that are fake.
Right? Oh yeah,
that look like legitimate, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? That looks.
People are selling them on Craigslist for replacement AirPods. You lost an AirPod? I got a replacement one for cheap.
Really?
Yeah, they're scamming people.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. Some of them are just like an AirPod case. The internals aren't in it.
I'm going to find my break
like plastic image.
I'm pretty sure break is
like 24, 25.
My break is at essentially 25, 24. Right?
In my dreams. Yeah, something like that.
I just want to type it in there, so
makes sense. I You know what I played recently? That I hadn't played in a while.
Mm.
That was really good.
Mm.
This is an unpopular opinion, and it tears a lot of people apart. But I actually liked Max Payne 3 a lot, and a lot of people did not like it because of some artistic changes they made. But I thought it was fucking great, and I played through it again yesterday, and I liked it so much I played it again this morning, and I beat it for a second time on the hard difficulty. And there's 2 more difficulties after that, and I'm gonna go ahead and rock those next. Which is going to be very frustrating because how the game's designed, the enemies have super smart AI to the point where they can insta shoot once they go outside of a corner. So there's not usually a moment of where is he? There he is, and then fire. It's more of a they can shoot you without you seeing them yet.
Yeah.
You're still running past the corner. Like they had like that fragment of a fucking sight on you to where you can't see them, but they can see you, and then you're done. But it's a very, very well made game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Minus some pretty hilarious glitches that
Like
might
what?
be. There's this one cutscene where a guy's supposed to drive up and say, "Get in, Max," and then Max gets in and then they drive off.
Yeah.
For some reason, it could just be a error in my game. I haven't Googled it, and it might be something where I just need to verify the contents of the game and it'll fix it. But for some reason, the character model for the guy who says "Get in, Max" doesn't load. So it's a self-driving car. So it's basically like Knight Rider, where this car rolls up, there's no one in it, and it just says "Get in, Max." Max gets in, and then it drives off with no one in the driver's seat. And you can see Max sitting there alone in the passenger seat.
Really?
Yes.
That's fucking horrible.
Again, it could just
When did
be
this
with
game come out?
When did it come out? Like 2012, maybe? Release date.
I made an episode 95 folder in the drive.
May 15th of 2012, yeah.
In the drive.
So it was 2012, and I really liked it, but there was a lot of people who gave it really bad reviews and didn't like it.
I actually didn't play the game.
I really like it. I will say it's a little cutscene heavy for an action game. Because it's a noir tale. It's like a detective story essentially. Yeah. So with those, there are going to be cutscenes, but that was one of the things that people didn't like is the cutscenes in the older games were like graphic novel formatted, to where it was like comics that were on the screen, and it was like a highly stylized comic that you read, and that was the cutscene, and then it would go to gameplay. With this, the gameplay and the cutscenes cut together, and they'll do really cool things where they'll format the cutscene to where it'll fit in the boxes of the comic every now and then.
Yeah.
So they'll like panel it out on the cutscene, which I really like. But there's a lot of like visual effects. You know how lens flare is the favorite setting for J.J. Abrams?
Yeah.
There is a very similar effect where it's like a visual static effect of like color and like an after image. And it's supposed to represent Max because he's like he's fucked up on pain pills and alcohol the whole game pretty much. So it's one of those things where that's supposed to be a visual effect representing his like confusion and him being out of it, and to put you as a player out of it. Problem is a lot of people found it fucking annoying. So a lot of people didn't play it, but or didn't like it because of that. But I love that game. I think it's really well made.
Yeah, I mean, people usually have opinions, and they're usually wrong. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, everyone's entitled to their own stupid fucking opinion.
Yeah, right?
Kill yourself. But on that note of telling people to kill themselves, I'm going to stop the broadcast because I realized we're still going.
Bye, guys.
Bye, you.